I'll start sharing. Where's my presentation? Right. Okay. We're in business. We're in business. So I do like to take a little look at various items of Spanish culture as part of these lessons. I think it's hard to speak a language unless you know a little bit about the culture of the country whose language you're speaking. So try to absorb a few things. The trouble with Spanish is that obviously it's spoken across a huge swathe of the world these days. One of the I'm not sure where it is in the world rankings. It's right up there as a second language because there's a huge number of people in Latin America speak Spanish, and obviously loads and loads of people in the USA speak Spanish as well through immigration, and because a lot of people spoke Spanish in Texas and California before they were annexed by the US. So there's lots of different cultures to cover off. This week I sent you a couple of videos for Guantanamera, which is pretty much the unofficial national anthem of Cuba. I don't know if people have been to Cuba. It's a place I've always quite fancied going to. I don't know whether I'll ever get there. Maybe I will. And we did two versions. One by a sort of collective of singers from around the world, which I thought was a really nice version, and one by Celia Cruz, who sings, and somebody's put a video of Havana to her song, which is quite a nice video. And the thing is with Guantanamera, there's lots of different verses, and new verses pop up all the time. I tried to cover the most common ones. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and we'll put some other songs and cultural videos up in the weeks to come. Well, now the lesson. Ahora la lección. Buenos días, señoras y señoras. Bienvenidos a la lección 8 de la clase de español básico. ¿Qué tenemos esta semana? Tenemos una conversación en español, además dos nuevos verbos. So, I do think it's important for us to have a crack at speaking Spanish. So, so we're going to do a little bit of that later on, and made a bit more room in the lesson so that we've got 5 or 10 minutes available for speaking, and we'll try to involve as many people as we can in that. We won't have time for everybody. You'd be glad to know. So everybody's ducking under their desks quickly. Anyway, primero, deberes. Deberes is homework, and we also use the word la tarea for homework as well. Tarea can also mean tasks, jobs. Tarea del casa can mean work at home or homework. And deberes is also used for homework. So a couple of words that we can use for homework. Deberes comes from deber, which is duty to. So deberes, homework, is your duty, which puts a bit of pressure on everybody. It's not something to wriggle out of. How did folk find this? Okay.
Yeah.
These were, I think these were relatively straightforward. There's one or two that I sort of threw in that we hadn't really covered. A few new words, but you'd be able to look them up, I think, fairly easily in a dictionary or on Google Translate. So a couple of you sent homework through. I've marked that and sent it back to you. Good efforts there. The rest of you, take a look at what we've got here. Now, there are different ways of saying these things, slight variations. So if you have any questions, stick your hand up, unmute yourself and ask the question, or just unmute yourself and ask the question, up to you. I have to go out tonight. Remember, we did tener, was it last week or the week before? I can't remember. We did tener. And the little phrase tengo que means I have to. Tengo, I have. Tengo que, I have to. Tengo que salir esta noche. So when we've got two verbs together, remember we conjugate the first one. The second one remains in the infinitive. The verb salir is in the infinitive. The verb salir means to go out. There's literally one meaning to go out. Don't think we have a verb like that. We tend to use the verb to go and then stick out on the end of it. But they have a verb, salir. Tengo que salir esta noche. And esta, there's no accents on there because we're not using negation of estar. We're using simply the word this. So that's that. How would we say we have to go out tonight? So we have is tenemos.
Que salir.
And you can, yeah, absolutely. You can combine that. So we have to go out tonight. Tenemos que salir esta noche. And you could also use it for an instruction. Do you have to go out tonight? Yeah. Tienes que salir esta noche? Do you have to go out tonight? You could use it in that way as a question. Yeah. What do you want to drink? ¿Qué quieres beber? Is a nice, easy way. What would you like to drink? What do you want to drink?
Because it's right next to me. I thought it was dead, so I was just going to do it with that. But
was that a question, or was that
kneeling down right next to me?
¿Qué quieres beber? You often hear tomar, the verb tomar, used instead of what would you like to drink? You may hear ¿Qué quieres tomar? Especially if you go to a cafe. Tomar is to take, and what would you like to take is often used. ¿Qué quieres tomar? Good morning, madam. How are you? The sentence makes it clear that this is in the formal. We've used the word madam. So, buenos dias, señora. ¿Cómo está? How are you? We're using the formal of estar, you. How old is she? A question. Now, in Spanish, they don't say how old is somebody. They say how many years does that person have? So what we're saying here is ¿Cuántos años tiene ella? How old is she? If you wanted to say how old is he, it would be cuántos años tiene él. So pretty straightforward. I'm just nosing out of my window because a huge flock of goldfinches has just landed on the tree at the bottom of our garden, and they're looking splendid in the sunshine. Anyway, I'm digressing. I should be concentrating on the Spanish, not staring out the window, shouldn't I? So, how old is somebody? We say, how many years do they have? And if you want to say how old you are, you say, I have however many years. So, tengo 21 años, for example. I would like more milk, please. So we're softening this a little bit. So we're not saying quiero más leche, por favor. I want more milk. I would like. So we're using quisiera más leche, por favor. Okay, everybody get on okay with those? Anybody have any problems with any of those questions? Nope. Good. What color is something? Color is an inherent characteristic, so we use ser. So S, it. What color is it? It's es. S. ¿Qué color es? Or de qué color es? Doesn't really matter. You hear both. De qué color es? What color is it? Do you have a headache? Now, a headache, word for headache in Spanish, and the words for headache is un dolor de cabeza, a pain of the head. Or a hurt of the head. So, tienes un dolor de cabeza. Do you have a headache? I have a headache. Tengo un dolor de cabeza. I would like to know what time the bus leaves for Madrid. Quisiera saber a qué hora sale el autobús para Madrid. I would, quisiera, and we've got two verbs together there, querer and saber, so we conjugate the first one, we leave the second in the infinitive. Quisiera saber a qué hora, at what time. Now, we have to conjugate salir here because it's the bus that's leaving. It leaves the autobus. The autobus, it leaves. Sale el autobús para Madrid. Madrid. Where are your children this morning? ¿Dónde están tus niños esta mañana? So we've got children, so it's niños, and because we have to make everything plural in Spanish, it's not tu niños, it's tus niños.
Eric, why is that?
Eric, oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
Why isn't it a
Yes,
span?
Dan. Plural.
Well, guess what? It should be estan, shouldn't it? Yeah. Donde están? Yeah, donde están.
And also, I put in there, donde están a tus niños. I seem to have got that somewhere, that you put a in there. Have I got that?
I've not. I wouldn't say you should
If you're
certainly say
talking
Stan.
about-
Sorry, I've
If I could try to answer that,
yeah.
Yeah,
I think putting a in front of a personal name or
yeah.
pronoun is when they're the object of the verb. But in this case, the children are the subject of the
Yeah.
verb.
Right.
Okay. So, ¿dónde están tus niños esta mañana? I'm glad somebody spotted the deliberate mistake. Well done. I am cold.
Tengo frío.
Tengo frío. Tengo frío. It's cold. Hace frío. Of course, it makes cold. I have cold. So that's good. I'll correct the mistake for the notes, and we'll also look to see if we can find a sentence that has the that would need an "a" in there as well. So let's make a note of that. Okay. Well done, everybody, on that. I'm presuming everybody got them all right.
No, I didn't. But Eric, can I ask a question about quisiera?
Yeah.
I've used that a couple of times, and I think I understand what it means. But I'm looking at a verb table.
Right.
This one's Collins grammar.
Uh-huh.
And quisiera doesn't actually appear anywhere in the table. And then in the examples at the bottom, it's got one of the examples, and it's got quisiera. So I don't understand which part of the conjugation system quisiera is of the querer conjugation system. Is it the subjunctive, or what is it?
Let me take a look at I'll if you just bear with me, I'll bring this up on the screen, and we can I can show you. So
Not from Porter. No, it's from Kira. Kira.
So I use I do recommend Collins 500 verbs, 501 verbs in actual fact. So I think that's a good one to go for. But also I use, particularly if I'm online, I use one called Spanish Dict. Can people see this on screen? Hopefully you can. So,
Word powder at the moment. Your table of powder.
Right, okay. So,
Eric, apparently Amanda is in the waiting room.
oh gosh, yes, I've not spotted that. I'll let her in immediately. Sorry, Amanda. Nice to have you. I didn't see you arrive. So querer here is just find this particular one. We need to look at it's imperfect subjunctive is the correct tense and mood. Quisiera. Not all of the books have have every verb in the verb.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry I diverted us.
That's there. No, that's fine. It's worth it's worth having. So we'll get back to where we were eventually. So let me just shut my door. My door's come open. I don't want the dog joining me, contributing to the lesson. So yeah. So I'll put a link to that website up there as well. It is really useful. I tend to find 501 Spanish verbs is such a huge book, and it tends now to sit on the shelf, and I find it easier to simply look things up online, much more convenient and much more comprehensive too. So that's what I tend to do. So I've been throwing lots and lots of verbs at you in the past 4 weeks, 5 weeks. We've been doing a couple of weeks. So we should by now pretty much built up all the really essential Spanish verbs. Of course, there's loads more that you need to know, but I think we've sort of got those that we need to have a basic conversation. There's 2 more to add today, 2 important ones. Poder, to be able, is one that I use an awful lot. I tend to use it for asking questions such as "Can I?" You might think of it as "Am I able to do this?" But it's "Can I do this?" or "I can," "You can," whatever. It's one of these stem changing verbs. So the front of the verb as well as the ending changes in some instances as it conjugates. And of course, when we've got the 2 verbs together, the first one conjugates, the second one remains in the infinitive. So we use poder a lot with other verbs, and some examples here. Puedo hacer, I am able to make, I can make, or can I make. Podemos ir a, we can go to, or can we go to, if depending on the inflection of the sentence. Puedo reservar, can I make a reservation? Puedo reservar una mesa por esta noche. Can I make a reservation tonight? Puedo comprar, can I buy? If you want to buy something. When you've got a verb in the infinitive, and I'm getting a couple of notes from people. Oh, Karen's saying goodbye. That's what it is. So when we've got a verb in the infinitive, you can hook a pronoun onto the end of the verb, and this makes it easier to say. So the question, can you help me? Can you help me, please? Puedes is new informal. Puede, if it's a formal situation. Puedes ayudar, can you help? Can you help me? Puedes ayudarme. So you'd still be grammatically correct if you said me puedes ayudar, por favor. But it's a lot easier to hook it on the end. Puedes ayudarme, por favor. Can you help me, please? So we will, as we build sentences, we will be hooking those pronouns on the end there, and it does sometimes it makes you do a double take and say, oh, of course, that's the pronoun on there. So do watch out for that. So here's the various conjugations in the present indicative. Puedo, puedes, puede, all with the stem changing. Podemos, podéis, and pueden, again, stem changing at the end. So you'll use this verb a lot. So I don't think you'll have any difficulty remembering these. You will be right now, but pretty soon, I think these will become second nature to you. And poder is a really useful verb for constructing sentences, and particularly constructing sentences that you are going to need and going to be useful to you when you're asking for things or getting around in a Spanish-speaking country. I try to get you to consider different words and different phrases to remember and use them as building blocks to make sentences, which is exactly what we do in English. So, puedo hacerlo, I can do it, I can make it. Or if you want to make it a question, puedo hacerlo, can I do it? Podemos ir de compras esta tarde, we can go shopping this afternoon. Ir de compras is a word that you should is a phrase that you should remember. It means to go shopping. Ir de compras. Podemos ir de compras esta tarde? Can we go shopping this afternoon? Puedo reservar una mesa para esta noche? Can I reserve a table for tonight? Puedo comprar esta camisa? Can I buy this shirt? You might also say, quisiera comprar, I'd like to buy this shirt. You can also say, se puede. Think of it as, in English, is it okay to? And it could be used as a questioning phrase or as a statement. So, it's okay to sit here. Is it okay to sit here? Can one sit here? One can sit here. So I mean, you don't see this quite so often these days. But no se puede fumar. No smoking. One cannot smoke here. It's generally you can't smoke anywhere these days. Not that I want to, but you would have seen no smoking signs are much more common than they are these days. Se puede sentarse aquí? Can one sit here? Se puede conducir por aquí? Can one drive through here? Can you drive through here? Se puede esperar aquí para el autobús? Can you wait here for the bus? So se puede. It's a useful one to know, to remember. The other verb that I want to talk about today is necesitar, and necesitar. Again, it's a really useful verb. It means to need. So necesito, I need. Necesitas, necesita. You need informal, necesitas. He, she, you formal, necesita. Necesitamos. We need. Necesitáis. You, plural, informal, need. My phone's pinging. I think I should have put that onto silent, which I'll do now. And necesitan, they need, or you, formal, need. So again, it's a really useful verb to be able to ask for things or complain about things if you're not getting the service that you really should do. Caroline, have you got your hand up? Caroline Ingram.
No, that was from earlier on about Cuba. To
Oh,
say
right.
I've been to Cuba.
Okay, so I missed that. Sorry.
Okay.
It took you a while to pop to the top of the screen, but there we go. Necesitar. Can you translate these? Un picnic. There's a nice cognate for us. Vamos a necesitar una botella de champán y algunas fresas. A picnic. We're going to need, do you remember how we used ear, the verb ear, to create the future tense? Perfectly good grammar. Spanish do it all the time, so don't worry too much about learning too many, or at this stage, learning too many of future tense of verbs. So, vamos a necesitar, we're going to need una botella, a bottle, de champán, champagne y algunas fresas, and some strawberries. So we're going to have a posh picnic. Necesitamos más toallas en el baño. We need more towels for the bathroom. Necesito salsa para mi hamburguesa. I need sauce for my hamburger, my burger. We don't tend to say hamburger these days, do we? I mean, most of the time. Well, I can't remember the time when a burger contained ham, or why we even call it hamburger. But we just say burger these days, don't we? We have chicken.
Eric, it's nothing to do with the meat content. It's because it comes from the city of Hamburg.
Is that right? Ah, right. So it's literally a hamburger. Yeah. Well, fascinating. I knew you'd know, Adrian. I was just.
You can get frankfurters as well.
Ah, right. Of course. Ah, that's worth remembering for a pub quiz. Somebody's bound to ask that sometime, aren't they? So the Spanish, we've dropped the ham, poor old Hamburg, but we've kept the burg. So it's a burger for us, and but in Spanish and throughout Latin America, they still say hamburguesa. Necesito una cuchara limpia. Esta sucia. I need a clean spoon. This one is dirty. Necesitas unos zapatos nuevos. You need some new shoes. Vas a necesitar el abrigo hoy. Hace frío. It's a good one for this morning, actually. You're going to need your coat today. It's cold. So necesitar, lots and lots of useful ways that you can use that verb. It's one that is really helpful. So spend some time. I put these on the verbs list. It's definitely worth spending some time and using that. And poder and necesitar, they are, although poder is a stem changer, it follows the rules, and necesitar is a regular AR verb, so it does follow the rules. And because you tend to use them quite frequently, they are easier to remember. So now comes the fun part of the lesson. This is where we're going to have a crack at talking in Spanish. We've done little bits of Spanish talking, but we're going to have a good, how long are we going to have? We're going to have a good 20 minutes of this. So don't worry about making a fool of yourself. Don't worry about your mind going completely blank when you're asked a question. It does at first, it does for everybody. It still does for me when I'm out of my depth a bit and people start talking too quickly, or I don't understand what they've said. I don't understand the first bit, so I panic and I'm still trying to work out the first bit, and they've said another 30 words, so I'm completely lost. This is bound to happen when you're learning a new language. You know, we're not Supermen, and it does take quite a long time for things to become familiar, and we do have to keep repeating it again and again, and we do have to practice. So speaking is it's an important part of learning Spanish, and so we're going to have a fairly simple conversation. We're going to exchange names. We're going to tell each other where we're from and where we live now. Do we speak a language? Do we speak Spanish? Any other language? And what family do we have? So these are sort of really short little practice session about that initial conversation. So we'll go as slowly as is necessary. We don't need to rush it, and we do have some help me out phrases, which I've included for a couple of weeks now, and you may have printed some out. So, lo siento, no te entendí. I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. So, entender, to understand. Entendí is the past tense, the preterite of I understand. So, entendí, I understand. No entendí, I don't understand. No te entendí, I don't understand you. Entiendo is the present tense of I understand. So lo siento or perdón, it doesn't really matter which one you use. You just sort of an apology, a nice apology phrase. Perdón, no entiendo. I'm sorry, I don't understand. No te entiendo, I don't understand you, but I don't understand, it is fine. Often we will understand if somebody tells us again more slowly. Más despacio, por favor. Más despacio, por favor. More slowly, please. You might want somebody to repeat what they've just said to you. So, dime de nuevo, por favor. Di is from decir, to say, and di is the imperative form. So you're giving somebody an instruction. Say it is essentially. So that is di. Now the thing is, you can hook the pronoun when you've conjugated a verb. Normally you can't hook a pronoun on the back of a conjugated verb. You can when it's in the imperative, when you're giving somebody an instruction, and it's easy to see why, because it's really convenient. So instead of saying maybe, you can simply say dime de nuevo, por favor. Tell me again, please. Say it again, please. Dilo otra vez, por favor. And again, we've got a couple of ways of saying sorry at the top, lo siento, perdón. A couple of ways here of saying again. We can say de nuevo, or we can say otra vez. De nuevo is a new, otra vez another time. as literal translations, they both mean again in English. Dilo otra vez, por favor. Say it again, please. Or dime otra vez, por favor. I need help, please. Necesito ayuda, por favor. Help. We're not saying to help. We're saying help as a noun. So the noun is ayuda, help. Necesito ayuda, por favor. And we've said this quite a bit, haven't we already? Puedes ayudarme, por favor? Can you help me, please? So there, you're not going to need those today, I'm sure, because what we're going to do is going to take it really slowly, and I'm going to speak slowly. And if you can't think, have a crack. Just say some random Spanish rubbish. Or just ask for help in English. It's absolutely fine. Now we've got some people who've done this course already. Some people have done the full course. Some people have done half the course because we got interrupted for COVID halfway through last year, and we didn't really finish off. We just did some exercises for by email for part of the year. So we've got a range of people who've got different skills. So we'll choose some newcomers, and we'll choose some confident Spanish chatterers as well. So let us begin. Empecemos. So our names. Let's start with Adrian, should we? Who is a confident Spanish chatterer, and his knowledge of Latin is useful because he does understand these Latin-based languages. Are you okay for a quick chat, Adrian? If you unmuted yourself, perfect. So, if I come to know is conocer. To know somebody is we would use conozco. Te conozco. Do I know you? So if I say to Adrian, hola, te conozco.
No, me llamo Adrian. ¿Y tú?
Me llamo Eric.
¿De
¿Cómo?
dónde eres?
Perdón?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres? Soy de Inglaterra. ¿Y tú?
De Inglaterra. Vivo en Longthorpe, un barrio de Peterborough.
No sé ese lugar, Longthorpe. ¿Es bonito?
Sí, muy bonito.
That's let's just rewind a bit there. Adrian told me where he lived. He lives in Longthorpe. I said I didn't know Longthorpe. Is it nice there? And he said, yes, it's very nice. So I think we could throw Adrian into the middle of Madrid, and he could find out anybody's name and tell them where he lived without any trouble at all. So, Adrian, do you get an opportunity to practice speaking Spanish with anybody?
No, except speaking to myself. I try to speak some words out loud rather than just read them, but only on my own.
Yeah. Okay, that's an excellent idea. Now, that's perfect. So, how's Abigail this morning? Are you feeling good? Abigail, ¿cómo está?
Muy bien. ¿Y tú?
Sí, sí. Más o menos. Abigail, shall we have a little chat? Let's pretend we're meeting at a little business lunch and we're doing a little bit of networking. So, hola, me llamo Eric. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Hola, Eric. Me llamo Abby.
Abby. Ah. Abby, ¿es un nombre inglés?
Sí,
Tú
soy de
eres.
Inglaterra. Oh, sorry.
No. ¿Tú eres inglesa?
Sí, soy de Inglaterra.
Ajá. Inglaterra y dónde?
¿Y tú?
Sí, soy de Gran Bretaña. Now I asked Abby if she was English, because Abby's a lady. I said, "Tú eres inglesa." Now, if I was asking Adrian, I would ask him, "Tú eres inglés." There's a difference between an Englishman and an English woman in Spanish. So we just have to be aware of that. Don't ask Abby if she's an Englishman. Tú eres inglesa. Abby, ¿dónde vives en Inglaterra?
Sí, vivo en Inglaterra. Sorry.
¿Dónde vives, Abby?
Vivo en Peterborough.
Ajá. Peterborough es un lugar bonito.
Sí, unos lugares son bonitos.
Ajá. Abby, ¿tú hablas español?
Un poco.
Sí. Abby, ¿tienes familia?
Sí, tengo 2 hijos.
No hijas.
No hijas.
¿Cómo se llaman los hijos?
Sorry, it's not because I don't know the names.
No, it's all right.
Christian y Mark.
Christian y Mark. Muy bien. So that's very good. Carl, are you waving at me, or are you just adjusting your screen? Just adjusting your screen. Okay. Well done, Abby. That's excellent. Excellent. And we're trying to vary this. Now, what I want to pick on a newbie. So we've got Ian and Marilyn. Which of you is the best?
Ian.
Oh, I suppose I'll get lumped with it, shall we?
I'm going now.
Do you speak with each other in Spanish a lot?
No. No.
You've got an excellent opportunity, because you've got a captive Spanish learner sitting alongside you. So you should take do take the opportunity to try to speak to each other in Spanish. Or you can wish Marilyn good morning when you bring a cup of tea, can't you? And
I'll do that sort of thing, but not
that kind
much
of
more.
yeah. Well, that's that's a start. I mean, I'd say good morning to everybody I could find. And I was that was that was otherwise you're sitting there in silence wondering what people are jabbering on about. So let's meet. We're meeting Ian. Let's just have a real. We'll go through the same sort of conversation we've just had with Abby. So, hola, me llamo Eric. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llama Ian.
Let's me llamo.
Me llamo
Me llamo Ian.
Ian.
Yeah. Encantando, Ian, which means pleased to meet you. Encantando. Ian, ¿de dónde eres? ¿De dónde?
Soy de Gran Bretaña.
Sí. ¿Y dónde vives, Ian?
Vivo en Helpston, cerca de Stamford.
Muy bien. Helpston, no sé ese lugar. ¿Es bonito?
Yes, sí, bonito.
Muy bien, muy bien. Ian, ¿tú hablas español?
Yo hablo español quino.
Un poquito.
Un poquito.
Poquito español. Muy bien, muy bien. ¿Hablas otro idiomas?
No.
No. Ian, ¿tienes familia?
No, no family. No.
¿Estás casado?
Sí.
Sí.
Yeah.
Muy bien. Well done, Ian. Wasn't too much of an ordeal, was it, Marilyn? No?
It's not too bad at all.
You just got to get your head in gear and and go for it a bit. Who's got a big family now? I know Jane's got you've got family. Jane Lily, tienes familia en español, ¿sí?
Sí, tengo familia en español, en Madrid.
En Madrid. ¿Tu hijo o tu hija?
Tu hijo y 2 nietos.
¿Cuántos años tienen los nietos?
Mi nieto tiene 6 años.
6 años, yes.
Y mi nieta tiene 4 años.
Muy bien, muy bien. ¿Y cómo se llaman los niños?
Mi nieto se llama Elliot y mi nieta se llama Claudia.
Claudia. Do they say Claudia in Spanish?
Yeah, sí,
They do.
Claudia.
They do in Italian. I know an Italian Claudia. It's nicer than Claudia, isn't it? Claudia.
Sí.
It is. Well done. That's very good. Now I'm going to move down a little bit, and oh, we've got husband and wife Carl and Giselle, and who's the better speaker? Carl and Giselle and Carl. You're learning German as well, or do you already speak quite a bit of German, don't you?
Hablo alemán. Yeah, o más hablo alemán, un poquito español.
Good, good. So you speak to each other in German and Spanish, is that right?
Otra vez. No, a veces.
See. Giselle, do you speak to Carl in Spanish or German?
Hablo en alemán a menudo, pero en español un poquito. Con Carl.
Okay. Más español, por favor. Necesitamos más español. Okay. Carl, Giselle, están casados, ¿sí?
Sí.
Sí. Está casado.
¿Cuántos años?
30 años.
30 años. Wow. ¿Tienes familia?
No hijos. Tengo 2 hermanos y una madre y un marido.
¿Tus hermanos viven en Peterborough?
Una hermana vive en Whittlesea. Otra hermana vive en Milton Keynes.
Hermana.
Ana, 2 hermanas.
Hermanas. Carl, ¿tienes hermanos? Hermanas? I've got to get that. Got to hit. See how important it is to hit the endings.
Sí, ich habe, hablo,
Tengo.
hermana, una hermana muerte.
Y Carl, ¿dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres? En Inglaterra.
Vivo en Peterborough.
Ajá.
En calle le llamo Walcott Walk.
Perdón?
En calle se llama Walcott Walk. Street, calle.
Oh, calle. Yeah.
It's German street, isn't it?
Calle was more the South Spanish. Calle.
Yeah. Calle. Yeah. I've never heard it called Kaije, but yeah.
I had a Mexican friend, Kaije. She said Kaije.
Well done. Caroline Ingram. Hola, Caroline.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Muy bien. ¿Y tú?
Bien, gracias.
Caroline, ¿tienes una nuevo nieta?
Sí.
¿Cuántos años?
1 años. Semana pasada.
¿Y cómo se llama tu nieta?
Nieta, nieto llama Ada.
Ella.
Ada.
Sorry, we're going to have to go into English. She's called Ella.
No, she's called Ada. Ada.
Ada.
Ada. Llama. What's after? So, it's grandma. Great grandma. What would great grandma be?
Oh, crikey. Well, grandma is abuela. Abuela grande or gran abuela. So I'm not sure what great is. I've never needed that one. That's another one to look up. What's great grandma? Mi abuela se llama Ada además. So we've both got Adas in the family. Well done. So who've we not had? We've not had Leslie. We chose you last week, didn't we? So you're ready for this, aren't you? Yeah. And you were worried last week, weren't you? A little bit. You found the experience a little terrifying. Yeah. No, it wasn't. It wasn't terrifying, was it? It was.
I couldn't see Ian. I was talking to Ian. All I can see is his passage between the two of them. So I was talking to nothing, and it was very strange.
Ah, right.
But also, I don't like the talking bit. Okay.
Do you want to do it, or do you not want to do it?
I'd rather not.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I mean, if you're going to go to Spain and you're going to get around, you do need to talk to people clearly, but it's absolutely fine. Anybody that finds this too grueling an experience, except me, I've got to do it. Feel free just to say, I don't want to. So Lorraine is sitting there, looking smart and ready to go. You look prepared. You look like my dog when I pick up a tennis ball. She gets to attention and gets ready to go. But don't go charging out of the room.
Gracias.
Yeah. What have I done? I'm going to stop digging now and change the subject very quickly. Lorraine, ¿tú eres inglesa?
Sí. Soy de inglesa. Soy de Inglaterra.
Do you remember to say where you were born? Can you remember how to say that?
Oh, no. It's the verb nisi.
Nacer. And the past tense, I was born, nasi. Nasi in Northwich, in Cheshire.
Nasi in Oxford.
In Oxfordshire. Of course.
I'm not getting you actually, Eric. Sorry.
So have you lost sound, or can you hear us okay?
No. Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Okay. Muy bien. ¿Dónde vives, Lorraine?
Vivo in Sawtry, circa de Huntingdon.
¿Y tú? Sawtry es vivo en Thorney, cerca de Peterborough. Thorney es un lugar bonito. Sawtry es bonito en Sawtry.
Yeah, sí, un bonito. Oh, I don't know what the word for village is, actually. I was going to say a pretty
Pueblo?
village. Pardon?
Yeah,
Pueblo.
Pueblo is
Pueblo bonito.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tend to-
Sotri es un
they-
pueblo bonito.
I know something something about Sawtry. We've just gained new pub owners in Peterborough, in Thorney, and they're from Sawtry, and I think we've also gained your chip van that used to be parked outside the pub. So I don't know if you were a regular user of the chip van, but they're very good, and it's now parked in Thorney. So I'm very sorry about that.
We have a Rumbles here in Sawtry, so I don't think the chip van did very well.
All right, right.
I think it's
right.
moved on.
So I've not been keeping a very close look on the time, so we've overrun by a few minutes. Thank you for that that spell. I think every 4 weeks we're going to have a little conversation lesson, and I'm going to try and do a few scenarios. So fairly soon we're going to go to a restaurant, and we'll get some good practical experience there, and also maybe we need to go to the doctors at some stage. So we'll do reserving a room, asking about a room, making a reservation, and going to the doctors. Thanks everybody. I think my Wi-Fi might be running a little bit slowly at the moment because I can hear myself talking, and I can see my lips moving a few minutes later. So hopefully that's okay. You're hearing me okay. I am getting a new Wi-Fi hub. I've not got it set up yet, so that will be in place for next week. So maybe that will improve everything. Just want to say a little bit. It's now December. I thought we'd keep going until the Tuesday before Christmas, and then we'll have a week's break over Christmas, and we'll start again fairly early. So we'll start January the 5th, something like that. I'll let you have the dates. We got started a little bit late, so we'll try and keep going as much as we can. And we've always had a little Christmas party. We're not going to be able to do that online, except maybe we can have a glass of sherry and a mince pie.
It's time in the morning.
we can do that. We also sang some Spanish carols. So I don't think we'll be able to do that either. Apple, you have a. Oh, you're waving goodbye. So thank you very much, everybody. I'll see you next week. I'll send the notes round, and thanks very much for your time.
Cheers, Eric. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Gracias, gracias.
Nos vemos.
Yeah.